Going on YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining me for this being my review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 17 episode 1. So the girls from the Peach State are back. Based off of the first episode, I think this is going to be a really good season. I'm assuming that it's going to be better than the most recent season of Housewives of Potomac. Fingers crossed on that, y'all. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So go ahead and mash it for a brother. Be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content I'm putting out on my channel. Also, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the episode itself. Are you a fan of the newbies? Do you wish someone did not come back? Let me know down in the comments. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTubing streets. So, of course, with the first episode of any Housewives franchise, there wasn't a whole lot of drama going on, but we'll get into the things that stood out to me. First of all, I want to say that I am elated that K. Michelle has joined the cast. I think she's perfect for the show. You know, she lives in Atlanta. She's very well known. She's got a huge fan base. A few people are upset that she's gone from Love and Hip Hop to Housewives of Atlanta. I see no issue with it whatsoever. I think she is a boost of popularity. She's a boost. I feel like she's a boost of confidence for the show. I think she's going to bring a lot more eyes to the show this season. And, you know, I don't know if she, honestly knows any of the girls that are here, but she fits right in. She fits right in. She can read the girls down, and I am ready to see it. So we see Portia meeting up with K. Michelle. Apparently they've known each other. They've crossed paths a couple of times, even though Portia didn't know that K. Michelle was married. Hell, I didn't even know that K. Michelle was married until I saw the trailer for this season. But Portia tells her that she's having a dinner party where, she wants to bring the girls together. She wants the girls to bring their significant others, and, they're going to play games and, have a lot of fun. And Portia tells her who's coming. So she names off all the girls, including Drew. And, K. Michelle seems to already have some shade locked up in her box for Drew, child. We see where this feud is going as we go on the line. I will say before I move on, I hope that K. Michelle does not get too close to Portia. I'm not the biggest fan of Portia. Portia's never been my favorite. And I just hope that she doesn't get caught up in any of Portia's BS. But K. Michelle tends to be aware of what's going on around her. You seem to not be able to get anything past K. Michelle. So hopefully that will continue. We have Angela and Charles. Angela and Charles are having a little bit of a cookout, a barbecue amongst one another. You know what I'm saying? Angela's saying that she's a great cook. They're grilling on the grill thing, whatchamacallit. And Angela goes on to tell us that she does not care what type of rumors or what type of gossip people have to say about Charles. It's not going to affect her whatsoever, none whatsoever. She's not going to let any of that get to her. And I'm so happy that she has said that. Of course, if you guys did not watch my reviews for last season, Angela was my favorite housewife last season. I'm not sure if K. Michelle will or will not overthrow Angela's position, in my opinion, but we'll see what happens as time goes on. Then we get to Shamia and Kelly, and somehow all of a sudden they are BFFs. Now, I know that they were, sort of kind of had each other's back during the reunion. And, I was talking to a friend about the show, and apparently they bonded, in between the reunion and the start of this season. And I think that's great that Shamia has a friend now that she's no longer friends with Portia. Which I think that is sort of kind of devastating that they're no longer friends, but that's sort of kind of, at least in my opinion, Portia's fault. But I'm glad that Shamia can call on a good girlfriend. And to be honest, it seemed like both Shamia and Kelly would not have had any friends this season if they had not come together. So I'm at least happy to see that. But then you have girls like Angela who really don't need any friends in the cast. They could just be themselves and have the fans wanting to watch every single episode. So it is what it is. But I'm glad that Shami at least has one friend in Kelly. And Kelly's talking about the fact that one of her daughters is going off to college and they're putting together some care packages for her. It's really, really cute. But let's move on to, let's just go ahead and get to the dinner party. So the ladies are arriving. I love Portia's dress. It's really, really nice. All the girls show up. Drew comes with Black, I think is his name, in her phone. She said, she couldn't bring a physical significant other, so she has one in her phone. Okay, Drew. All right. And so all the ladies sit down. Shamia and Pinky Cole, who is a new housewife this year. I don't know how I feel about Pinky Cole just yet, so I'll leave my opinions to the side until we really get a glimpse of who she truly is for real, because, I really don't know much about her. I know that she is the creator or originator of Slutty Vegan, but that's pretty much all that I know about her. I know that she has plenty of businesses. I know she's done this, and that. She listed a number of her accolades, in her introduction. So Pinky and Shamia show up to the party late, and Portia's asking the ladies some shady questions, not too shady. I love the fact that K Michelle and Charles are getting along. I love the fact that they are chatting like two good Judys. I absolutely adore that. I really, really do. I love that fact. I love that. It just brings me so much joy to see K Michelle, fitting right on in, and she is throwing shade left and right. They're explaining, SWV hasn't shown up. Speaking of Shamia, Drew, and K Michelle, they're the three singers on the show. And yeah, is and K Michelle's like, oh, I don't, I'm just up hearing about this whole SWV thing because I'm the only real singer in the building, honey. Okay, I loved that. K Michelle's going to be a hoot this season. And so once Shamia and Pinky get there, of course, Pinky and K Michelle are sorority sisters, Delta Sigma Theta. I thought that was great that they were able to bond on that. Drew turns to Shamia and asks her, "Where's your man?" When was the last time we saw Shamia's husband? Like, when was the last time he actually came to an event? Like, why do you feel the need, Drew, to ask Shamia where her husband is? I felt like that was so unnecessary. Shamia did have a comeback, same reason why you didn't bring your man here, girl. He's been traveling, honey, okay? Um, Portia has brought this new man, Mike, to the group. And, I was talking to my mother yesterday about it after I watched it. And she said that he's been on another reality show in the past. She said that he's an actor. I think he was on Ready for Love, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. But, when she was asked, Portia was asked, when's the last time she had been intimate with Mike? She said 9 months ago. That makes zero sense to me whatsoever. I don't know if Portia didn't hear the question right or whatever the case might have been, but that don't make too much of any sense to me whatsoever. But yeah, anyways, they have a little bit of a fake ceremony of getting married, and I don't care about all that. So then all the girls go to sit down and, kind of commiserate. Oh, I also have to say, I love that Cynthia is there. I love that the show started out with Cynthia, giving us kind of a preview of what's going to happen this season. I love that. I do think still at the same time, it's kind of weird that Cynthia is in the building. Um, because my question is, why is she here? What is she here for? So maybe I'll get that answer later on down in the season. But I do like that she is there nonetheless. She's always got the best hair on the show. Her style is immaculate. So, shout out to Cynthia for being there. So the girlies sit down, and Kelly wants to make sure that Shamia and Portia are on a good foot. And they both say that they are. Shamia said that she appreciates that they were able to at least be cordial with one another, and I think that is great. Angela brings up the fact that, what she said at the reunion was still true. Phaedra then comes out and says that, she saw the footage of the Hawks game in which the woman had supposedly come up to Angela, and Phaedra said that that never happened. And then when Phaedra gets into the confessional, the producer asked her, well, did you actually see the footage? And Phaedra's like, well, no, I didn't actually see it, but I requested that the footage be pulled. Phaedra just lying. Once again, Phaedra is the liar of the show. I don't know why Phaedra's here. I've never liked Phaedra whatsoever. Yes, she always brings great wigs. Yes, she always has some of the best confessionals. But other than that, she brings nothing to the show whatsoever. Whatsoever. So I don't know why she's here. But anyways, so yeah, the party it goes okay. Portia and Kelly sort of kind of get into it as well, but Portia says she's going to save her, reaming for Kelly for later on. She doesn't want to bring that out now. So K. Michelle does leave the group once the girls start arguing a little bit, and K. Michelle goes to talk to the men, and the other girls kind of trail off too. So that's pretty much the end of the party. Portia's man, Mike, or I don't know if we should call him her man, because she didn't even refer to him. After she referred to him as her man, she said, "Well, not my man, this man." Child. Anyways, and then they make them kiss. Like, come on, y'all know what this is. Y'all know this shit ain't real, but whatever. Anyways, that's the end of the party. That's the end of the episode. Once again, I am liking this season so far. I think it's going to be a great season. I can't wait to watch the rest of it. Once again, I really do have a feeling it's going to be better than Housewives of Potomac was this past season. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the episodes. Be sure to join me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live hot topics and social commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We obviously have a great time talking about the latest happenings and goings on in the world. So join us every Thursday night. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.